Hello everyone, this is Imam Saktiri. Dear students, wherever you are, hope you are fine, happy and safe. Today's session is devoted to a quiz related to Unit 9 for Common Core students using the textbook Visa to the World. Hope you are ready. Let's get started. The components of our quiz are the following. We will start with vocabulary, followed by communication, then grammar. Of course, all the lessons in the following quiz have already been presented during the lesson sessions. First of all, we will start with vocabulary. Fill in the blanks with the correct words from the list. But pay attention. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words in our list. But we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences. Which means that 3 words won't be needed. That's why we have in the question to underline and to pick up the correct word. So please be selective. The words are the following: environment, spring, winter, tap, deforestation, smoke, forests, extinction, and finally factories. Let's read our sentences. Pollution is the contamination of the B. The causes of air pollution are cars, airplanes, and factories. C. In. It snows in some places and rains in others. D. Environmental problems lead to the of a lot of animals and the endangerment of many others. E. A is an area covered with trees and bushes. The last one is we mustn't leave the running while we are brushing our teeth. So please take your time before we start the correction. Are you ready? Great. Let's correct. Pollution is the contamination of the environment. So the first keyword is environment. B. The causes of air pollution are cars, airplanes, and factories, smoke. Do you remember a synonym of the word smoke? We dealt with it during the lesson session. Yes, please? Great. It is fume. We talk about smoke or fume. Let's put it in an example. Factories or vehicles emits fume or smoke. Emits, or the phrasal verb is give off. Vehicles or factories give off or emit smoke or fume. C. In winter, it snows in some places and rains in others. In winter. What are the other seasons of the year? Yes, we talked about autumn or fall, winter, spring, and summer. So it's like we are reviewing at the same time. Okay? Great. D. Environmental problems. Environmental. Environment, noun. Environmental, adjective. Environmental problems lead to the extinction of a lot of animals. We talked about the keyword extinction earlier when we said that extinction, when we talk about animals which disappear or vanish, no more exist. Environmental problems lead to the extinction of a lot of animals and endangerment of many others. Then, a forest is an area, a place covered with trees and bushes. Finally, F, we mustn't leave the tap running. The tap, okay? We talked about tap water. In some remote area in Morocco, people still don't use tap water, okay? We mustn't leave the tap running while we are brushing our teeth. It means when you are cleaning, when you are brushing your teeth, you should not keep the tap running. It means opened. That's all for the vocabulary. So now let's move to our next component, which is communication. In this exercise, we are going to match the following sentences with a set of expressions. The expressions we have are agreeing, disagreeing, giving opinion, expressing impossibility, expressing possibility, and finally asking for opinion. We dealt with these functions during units 6, 7, 8, and 9. For my point of view, spring is the best season ever. So please, while dealing with functions, you must underline key expressions or keywords sometimes, which is very important. Why? Simply because these key expressions are repeated, whereas examples are different. So be careful. B, there is no way we could go on a picnic for this weekend. C, you're right. It's never too late. It's never too late. It's always possible. D, you could walk or ride a bike instead of taking the bus. Try to underline and try to find where is the key expressions, because it's only the key expression which is going to lead you to the correct choice and answer. E, this can't be true. I can't believe you smoke. I can't believe you smoke. F, what do you think? It's a question here. What do you think? Is that possible? So I think the instruction is very clear. Now please take your time before we start the correction. Yes? Are you ready? Okay, let's correct. Number 1. From my point of view, spring is the best season ever. Where is the key expression? Yes, it is from my point of view. This expression is the synonym of in my opinion. It seems to me, I believe, I feel, I think, as far as I am concerned. All these expressions are used to express opinion. We give opinion and we voice our views. B, there is no way we could go on a picnic in this weather. There is no way. It is the expression which is expressing impossibility. There is no way I can attend these evening meetings because I have already had another meeting with my dentist or with my friend. It means there is no way, it's impossible. You're right, it's never too late. You're right, it means I share your point of view. I do agree with you. I share your opinion. So we use this expression, you're right, to agree with someone. Next, D. You could walk or ride a bike instead of taking the bus. Instead of taking the bus, you could walk or ride. What does it mean? It means that there is the possibility of walking instead of taking a bus. And the key word here is the modal verb could. As a result, we use could to express possibility. Okay? E. This can't be true. I can't believe you smoke. It can't be true. It's, yes, impossible. It's impossible. It can't be true. So, could is a modal verb which is used to express possibility, whereas can't is used to express the impossibility, as we saw together during Unit 9 lesson session. I can give you another example. The baby can't be hungry. I have just fed him. I have just given him food. It means that it is impossible for the baby to be hungry. You're going to meet your friend Ayman at home, but on your way you find Anas, and he asked you, where are you going? I am going to meet Ayman. Oh, Ayman can't be at home. I have just met him in the post office. What does this mean? It means that it is impossible to find Ayman there. So please, I'd like you to notice and remember that can't is used in this context to express impossibility. Last but not least, what do you think? Is that possible? So as you see here, we have a question mark. What do you think? Is that possible? So here we are asking for opinion. What do you think? Ask someone about his or her point of view. I think now everything is clear regarding the communication. Let's move to our next component, which is grammar. Today's grammar is a review of the past tenses and present perfects. During this quiz, you will be exposed to the following tenses: past simple, past continuous, and present perfect. Let's start with a review of the past simple versus the past participle. As you see, let's try to complete the following table. Either you are provided by the infinitive and you need to fill in the past simple and the past participle, or you have past simple and you need to come up with infinitive and past participle, or you have past participle and you need to come up with past simple and infinitive. Before we start, try to remember that talking about past simple and past participle, we are talking about the two forms, regular and irregular. And we will see all these details while we are correcting soon. Now, what is the past simple and past participle of the verb pay? So before you take your final decision, try to decide either this verb is regular or irregular, because it makes a difference, of course. So is in the past simple. What is the infinitive and what is the past participle? Read is the past participle. Try to find the past simple and the infinitive. Written is the past participle. Try to find past simple and the infinitive. Then we have the verb leave. What is the simple past and what is the past participle? Then we have the verb dry. You dry your hand after you wash it. Dry. What is the past simple and what is the past participle of the verb dry? So please read these verbs once again carefully before we start the correction after a few minutes. Okay? Are you ready? Great. Let's correct. Pay, paid, paid. Like say, said, said. See. We gave you the verb saw, which is already conjugated in the past simple. The infinitive is the verb to see. Saw, the past participle is seen. As you see in this verb, the past participle is different from the past simple. Another one is read is the past participle. The past simple is also read, but the infinitive is read. Same spelling, but different pronunciation. Read, 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 read. For written, the past simple is wrote, and the infinitive is write. Write, wrote, written. Drive, drove, driven. Speak, spoke, spoken. Let me tell you a joke. Once upon a time, a teacher was explaining the irregular verbs to his students. It happened that two of his students were talking at the back. While he was explaining and he was repeating some of these irregular verbs with his students, they were talking about to be, was, were, been, put, put. Then when they reached this family of speak, spoke, spoken, drive, drove, driven, write, wrote, written, the two students who were talking at the back disturbed the teacher. Then he said, "Hey, you two, what's up? What's the matter?" But of course, he said that in Moroccan Arabic. And he said, "Hey, ashbik." The students were shocked, and because they knew that the teacher was speaking about a list of irregular verbs, and because the time was about speak, spoke, spoken, and when the teacher said, "Hey, ashbik," they said, "Oh, shbik, spoken, spoken." Even if they don't understand the meaning that shbik, it means ashbik, which is what's wrong, what's the matter, what's going on. So let's go back up to our lesson. Now, leave, live, live. As you see here, we add an ed because this is the second category of, which is the category of regular verbs. Verb plus ed. Then dry, 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 like, try, try, try. As you see here, the Y is preceded by a consonant. We need to delete the Y and replace it by an IED. And like play, when the Y is preceded by a vowel, we just keep the y and followed it by ed. I hope everything is clear so far regarding regular and irregular past simple and past participle. Let's move on to the last exercise, which is about different tenses. As I said before, put the verb between brackets in the past simple, past continuous, or present perfect. Past simple, past continuous, or present perfect. Number 1, it's be my birthday yesterday. Number 2, Lana finished her homework yet? Question. 3, I never read this book. 4, somebody knock on the door while I, the verb, read the newspaper. 5, Lina, verb, ran to catch the bus. When she, verb, fall down and verb, break her ankle. Please, before you answer this exercise, try to underline, try to find the key expressions, if there are any. Because key expressions which are give you the indication to the correct answer and choice. So please take your time before we start the correction. Shall we correct? Okay. Number 1. But please try to justify your choices. Number 1. It was my birthday yesterday. Was is the verb to be in the past. It is an irregular verb. To be in the past has 2 forms. Was and, yes, great, were. So we use was with which subjects? Yes, I was, you were, he was, she was, it was, we were, you were, and finally they were. That's it. It was my birthday yesterday. Why do we choose? Why do we opt for simple past and not present perfect or past continuous? Simply because we have the time expression yesterday. Let me remind you about the use of past simple. We use past simple when the action started and finished, but at a specific time in the past. Please remember and underline at a specific time, because it's very important. Simply, we can use present perfect when describing an action that started in the past, finished in the past, but not at a specific time. That's what makes a difference between present perfect and past simple in this context. Number 2, because we have a question, we should start with the auxiliary. But which tense we are going to use and why? Let's see. Has Lana finished? Has plus subject followed by the past participle. This is the question form of the present perfect. But the most important question, why present perfect? Simply because we have the time expression yet. Has Lana finished her homework yet? So for present perfect, question 4, it's always have or has, followed by a subject, followed by the past participle. Has for he, she, and it. Have for I, you, we, and they. Number 3, I have never read. I have never read this book. What does this mean? It means that I don't have the experience of reading this book before. The time expression is never. Is okay? Nice. Number 4. Somebody knocked. That's the verb knock. Somebody knocked on the door while I was reading the newspaper. Somebody knocked on the door while I was reading the newspaper. Here we have 2 actions. We have a short action and a long action. But both of these actions took place in the past. The short action always takes simple pasts, and the long action takes the past continuous. The key expression is why. Why is followed by past continuous, followed by past simple, or why is preceded by past simple, followed by past continuous. While I was watching a football match on TV yesterday, the lights went out. While we were playing a football match yesterday, I fell down. So the action of playing is long, whereas the action of falling down is short. Number 5. Lina was running to catch the bus when she fell down and broke her ankle. So the action of running is long and the action of falling down is short. Please note that when is always followed by a simple past. Is it clear? Hopefully, hope you understand these justifications and you did well with this quiz. Dear students, stay home, stay safe. Goodbye.